Lads and ladies, Euro 2024 is upon us. This is fucking happening. It's not a drill. We're 1 week away. This is the promised land. So I thought, what better time than now to show you my teams, and then you can all yell at me and tell me they're shit, or let me know if someone's pulled out of the national squad with an injury, and we can all have a swell time, a good old fashioned fun time. Now let's start off by saying, although these teams are for the Euros, remember I can use these players after the Euros in their league competition, so I had to factor future usage in mind as well when preparing these teams. Didn't want to just completely tunnel vision the Euros here, and I have set up 3 teams for each game week contained within the group stage, and whatever I have left when the groups have concluded, we can figure out where the fuck we go from there. But for now, I have 2 limited teams and a mixed scarcity team. Unsure how a mixed scarcity team will play into this and the entry specifications of certain competitions while the Euros is on. But, I've got one. It's there if I need it. And that's mainly because I didn't quite have the players nor the willingness to really go and splash cash on rare players for the Euros. I'll be honest, I looked at my rare selection here and thought the players are already mismatched on certain game weeks of the group stage. For instance, game week 1 of the groups, I have only 2 rares available, and then game week 3, I'd have no goalkeeper available in the rare scarcity. So it kind of made the whole prospect of getting some new players in for a rare team more expensive than I'd like. So I passed on going any further there. But who said we can't have some good old-fashioned fun in the limited scarcity? And that's what we're going to do, because I have 2 teams out for each game week of the group stage at a minimum, and the plan here is to prioritize one lineup as going balls to the wall, full strength, as strong as you can get, with the secondary lineup still hopefully being competitive, but made up of those players with tougher fixtures and on the fringes of their team perhaps. And I will say, my main tactic looking at the Euros was prioritising teams and players based on their group stage fixtures. So I pinpointed 3 teams with favourable groups, that being England, Portugal and Belgium. England are in a group with Slovenia, Denmark and Serbia. God save the Queen, should win all of those. Portugal then have Turkey, Georgia and the Czech Republic, should be favourite, with Belgium having Ukraine, Slovakia and Romania. And I will preface this, or postface this, by saying I know there's no such thing as an easy group once the Euros kicks off. I know this, but I can only go with the surface information that I have, which on paper denotes these 3 nations as having the easiest groups. Maybe. I don't fucking know. It's one of the great mysteries of life. But with those 3 nations in mind, this is why I decided to splash some cold hard cash money heading into the Euros on 2 marquee signings from Portugal and England respectively, in Bruno Fernandes and Harry Kane, for a combined total of a little over £200. Both key players for their nations, I don't need to tell you that, but I just did, so you can see them starting every game in the groups for sure. And just looking at their scores on the screen here, and they fucking speak for themselves. That's green as shit right there. But another reason why I swooped for these 2 players in particular was also for the future utility in the future. I just said that. You fucking idiot. I'd also looked at players like KDB and Cancelo, but right now I just can't trust that they won't fuck off to Saudi in the summer and become uncovered. So, realistically, Bruno and Harry Kane seemed like 2 really strong, safe bets when all aspects were factored in for my investment, my value for money, cold hard cash money. And even Fernandes has been linked with Bayern and Barca recently, so I'm also happy if he moves to either of them next season. I'm sure he's going to stay at Manchester Red, but as long as just don't go to Saudi, basically, and we're Gucci, we're laughing. But let's stop chatting shit and look at my goalkeepers then. And my account has been ready to go for a long time. Waiting in the wings here, or in the net should I say, is Jordan Pickford, Unai Simon and Cohen Castells, all 3 of whom should be starting in net for their respective countries. The risk here is Castells, not 100% guaranteed as the other 2, as Matt Sells did have some game time in national fixtures leading up to the tournament, but Tedesco, the manager of Belgium, did say Castells will be his number 1, so all should be fine there. And I guess Thibaut Courtois can, just go fuck himself, apparently. And although here I'd say my best keeper is Unai Simon, he might actually be the furthest down the totem pole here as a choice due to what I said earlier about prioritising fixtures. England and Belgium are 2 nations with favourable groups, as I mentioned, whereas Spain and Unai Simon are arguably in the group of death alongside Italy, Croatia and Albania. But, certainly 3 strong options there in net for sure. And then in defence, I have a range of options available to me, but I definitely feel a bit on the weaker side here. So I've got Di Lorenzo and Bastoni, the Italian duo. As I just stated, Italy are in a really tough fucking group, so it won't be easy for them for sure. It does, however, give me more hope that Italy will play 5 at the back, in which case both of these players should be pretty locked in to start. So, it's just nice to have them available to me. I've also then got a Nuno Mendes limited card that I won as a reward towards the start of the season. He's definitely had an injury-plagued season, there's no doubt about that, but if he gets the nod to start for Portugal when the tournament commences, then he could be a great card to have for sure. He's definitely capable of some upper-tier scores. I've then got Melee of Denmark, who's a good backup option, and then even Mykolenko of Ukraine, who I think should do quite well in the Euros as a nation. They've got a group of Belgium, Slovakia and Romania. Obviously Belgium are the tough ones there, but you'd probably back Ukraine to come second in that group. And that's why I've added Mudryk and Tiskankov to my roster as well. A nice little trio of key Ukrainian players there that I can triple up on in my lineups. Definitely capable of going forward with attacking intent against the weaker sides in the group, so hopefully this gamble pays off. Speaking of midfield, I've obviously got Bruno Fernandes, newly purchased the account, but another player and nation that I'm really excited for in the Euro 2024 tournament is Hakan Çalhanoğlu and Turkey. He is Turkey's key man, Turkey's Ian Fleming, if you will. And I just fucking love Çalhanoğlu and Sorare. I really think Turkey as a whole themselves are in for a good tournament. You know, they're low-key my dark horses, I think, to be the kind of team who reaches the semi-finals. You know, usually that's a Croatia kind of thing, but this year I'm all aboard the Turkey train. Happy Thanksgiving, motherfuckers. That's weird. And then Çalhanoğlu can be paired up top with Aktürkoğlu, another purchase I've made for the Euros. He's just a cheap addition to bolster up my attack here, which is definitely where I'm weakest for sure. You know, Harry Kane is obviously going to have to do a lot of the carrying for me up top, as I don't really have a lot else. I mean, Anduni could be useful. Even Gregoric has his viability as a cheap option, but they're probably not going to set the tournament alight, you'd imagine. So as you can see, you know, relatively rounded out at limited level. I feel most game weeks during the group stage I should be able to get quite a liquid team out, but you have to imagine countless other managers are going to be saying the same fucking thing, so it's going to be tough to compete. I'm under no illusion about how what am I saying? I'm under no illusion how tough it's going to be to beat the other managers in the competitions during Euro 2024. My XP on these players won't nearly be as great as them either, as they're all quite new and, you know, not stacked up in a collection bonus. So I'm not really expecting to win anything major during this tournament, but hey, you never know. We live in hope, and I hope I'll catch you next time, because I fucking love you.